I have a very special episode for you that you can only see on TFL Truck. Classic grudge match. GMC versus Ram. Two heavy-duty trucks. Electricity versus diesel power.
Whoa. You said two heavy-duty trucks?
Yes.
What exactly is the tow rating on that Hummer EV, Andre?
We'll go over all the numbers later, but what are we doing today?
Yeah, today we're going to do a range test on these two trucks, and what I want to find out is if this diesel Cummins Ram can go twice as far as the Hummer EV on a single tank.
Towing identical trailers?
Yeah, we've got two 6,000-pound camper trailers. We'll see how they do.
Well, you might be surprised by the Hummer.
Maybe.
Hey dude, I think we gotta turn around.
341 kilowatt! Dude, I've never seen that before.
All right.
This video would not be possible without our friends at CompleteTrailers.com. Check them out using the link below. We're using these toy haulers. They're identical. It's a Game Changer Pro Series by ATC. Let me show you inside. I took them to the scales. They weigh identical, 6,100 pounds a piece. And they're very luxurious in all aluminum construction, all composite walls, which means these puppies can carry about 5,000 pounds of stuff that you can bring. Folding beds. There's a bed that retracts and comes down, so you can have bunk beds and a full kitchen, full bathroom, all that stuff. So check out CompleteTrailers.com. And right now it's pretty much the best time to buy a trailer because it's kind of the end of the season.
So right now, we're about to start our journey, so I just reset my trip meter, and as you can see, I've got a full tank of diesel, so we're ready to go on this towing journey.
And the Hummer, of course, is also 100% charged, well, or full of energy. It's estimating 327 miles of range. This may change as I start driving, and I'm gonna reset this trip meter specifically for this comparison. All right, dude, so here is our route. We're leaving Boulder, Colorado, and we're basically going northeast towards Fort Morgan and really towards Lake McConaughey area. And I want to see exactly how far the Hummer, of course, will tow this trailer. But these are also gigantic camping trailers.
Yeah, these are very high-profile trailers, so while they may only weigh 6,100 pounds, which is not a ton of weight, that big profile pushes a lot of air, so we found that it has a big impact on the range of a lot of trucks.
Yes, and I've been kind of playfully calling both of these heavy duties. I mean, technically they're in the same weight class, so if this was a boxing match, technically these two have similar gross vehicle weight ratings. The Hummer itself is very heavy. We weighed it at about 9,400 pounds.
And we already did a half-ton test, GMC Sierra 1500 versus Lightning.
That's right, but this test is going to be even more telling because diesel is really the ideal rig for towing long distances because of the fuel economy that you can get while pulling a trailer.
So it'll be interesting to see how these two compare, and our route on this journey is going to be fairly flat.
Exactly, we're not doing mountainous terrain, so that's why I think I'm fairly excited by this.
This video on the Hummer EV was made possible by our friends at Magna International. Magna's engineers in manufacturing actually contributed to the development of an essential part of the Hummer, the battery enclosure. It's critical to the structure and safety of the vehicle and protects high voltage batteries from water and damage. Magna worked with GM's engineers to produce two versions of the recyclable steel battery case, a 393-pound version for the short wheelbase and a 454-pound long wheelbase version. The Hummer EV is the first GM truck vehicle in production using GM's all-new Ultium battery architecture, which Magna worked closely on with GM's engineering teams to optimize for the best performance. Learn more about the role Magna plays in developing and building some of the most advanced automotive and truck technology in the world by clicking on the link to Magna's YouTube channel in the description below.
so we went about, 36 miles on side highways and through a couple towns. So the speeds were kind of average, but now we're gonna do a 70-mile-per-hour loop.
Exactly, we're about to get up to highway speed, but before we do that, we're approaching this light, and I have to say one of my favorite things about driving this Cummins is the exhaust brake. I barely have to use the friction brakes on this to slow down this lightweight 6,100-pound trailer at all.
Yeah, I even have a gauge on my dash that shows me how much the exhaust brake is working.
Well, you know what? I also have a gauge on my dash that's telling me how much energy I'm putting back into my battery when I slow down.
Can you put energy back with your exhaust brake?
Well, I can't put energy back in, but because I've got diesel and a big tank of it, I don't necessarily need to put so much energy back into my tank because I have a 31-gallon tank of diesel. And we did the calculation, that is the equivalent of 1,176 kilowatt hours of battery.
Yeah, dude, we have to talk about energy density. I think it's really important. A gallon of diesel actually holds a lot of energy, like you said, about almost 38 kilowatt hours in 1 gallon.
And you can also replenish that very easily, right? You can go to a truck stop or any gas station and with a diesel pump and really replenish it really easily.
Basically, the Hummer has a battery which is enormous in size. The battery weighs about 3,000 pounds by itself, and it holds 212.7 kilowatt hours.
So the Ram Cummins has about 5 times more energy on board.
Yeah, basically the battery in the Hummer EV is equivalent to less than 6 gallons of diesel fuel, which is a pretty insane number to compare. Now, this beastly 6.7 Cummins turbo diesel is exactly what you want to have in a towing rig. 370 horsepower, 850 pound-feet of torque, and it's an inline-6 Cummins turbo diesel. What more reminds you of towing than that? What's most impressive about this truck is the 2,200 pounds of payload and 20,000 pounds of tow rating, and that is so much more than we're gonna need today. So Case seems to think that this new GMC Hummer EV truck is not a heavy-duty truck. Well, let's look under the hood and see what's under there, okay? Well, actually, it's just a bunch of storage. I've got my bags for my T-tops. It is a convertible. I've got my charging cable. I've got my off-road kit. But dude, 3 motors, 1,000 horsepower, and 1,200 pound-feet of torque. Maximum towing, 7,500 pounds, and maximum payload, 1,300 pounds. I'm sorry, you said 7,500 pounds?
Yes.
And this is apparently an HD truck. What happened to the rest of your tow rating?
Well, it's a lifestyle truck.
Also, what happened to your bed?
Well, I have a fancy tailgate. Look at this. I can reach in and get my stuff out and carry a spare tire.
A fancy tailgate that opens to reveal a storage area dedicated solely to a spare tire.
But let's talk about efficiency so far. I'm showing 0.9 miles per kilowatt hour so far, and right now we're setting our cruise control at 70. What are you showing for your efficiency?
I've been averaging about 13 miles per gallon on our lower speed running around town and some of the highways, smaller highways, getting up to Highway 76 here. So we'll see how my fuel economy does at higher speed, but round about 13 miles per gallon.
All right, so let's do this calculation. So 13 miles.
Divide by a gallon, right? Gallon is equivalent to about 38 kilowatt hours of energy. So really your efficiency right now, if you compare it to the electric truck, is about 0.34. So 0.34. And I'm at 0.9. Almost 3 times more efficient than the Hummer.
Well, it's kind of cool because we have actually a lot of numbers to put to the comparison between these two trucks, but what it boils down to is the Hummer that you're driving is about 3 times more efficient with the energy it has than the Ram I'm driving, but the Ram I'm driving has about 5 times more energy stored in it.
There is a lot of numbers, but I think it's really cool. But at the end of the day, will the diesel go twice the distance, or at least twice the distance of an electric truck? So this is what we're here to find out. So my friend, a couple things. First of all, my efficiency overall for this trip has dramatically went down. 0.6 miles per kilowatt hour now.
Yeah, you know, I wish I could laugh at you for that, but my efficiency has also dropped. I'm at exactly 11 miles per gallon at the moment.
It makes sense, dude. All vehicles are affected by aerodynamics, not just electric. So, a couple more things. The reason why I'm not touching my steering wheel right now while talking to you, it's not because I love to live dangerously. It's because I have Super Cruise.
Yeah, that is a nice feature to have, and I have cruise control, which is super nice, but I don't have anything like Super Cruise.
So you know how I said we should go to Lake McConaughey area and Ogallala, Nebraska?
Yeah, that's a beautiful spot to end up. I'm looking forward to it.
I don't know if I can make it. I think I was a little optimistic.
Right now, we have about 150 miles to that location, to that charger. And based on the data I have in front of me, I'm approaching about half charge now. And I cannot make 150 miles, dude.
Where is going to be a place that we could stop to charge that's closer than Lake McConaughey?
Well, so the other stop is Fort Morgan, which is actually not super far. So here's what I propose. I still want to find out how far the Hummer will go on a road trip like this with a camper. So how about this? How about we go past Fort Morgan, and then I'll try to watch my nav system, and if I reach the point of no return, maybe we can loop back and hit Fort Morgan again.
That sounds good to me, because that's the same thing that we did with the F-150 Lightning, and that way we can get as close as possible to the maximum range while still ideally leaving us with enough power to not be stranded on the side of the highway with a big truck and a big trailer.
So this is basically what's happening to Ogallala. That's the distance I would have to go, and based on 0.6 miles per kilowatt hour and half a battery, that distance is not doable.
Hey, dude, I think we gotta turn around. I think I've reached the point of no return. I cannot make it to Nebraska.
To Lake McConaughey, I'm sorry. So let's regroup and see if we can get back to Fort Morgan.
Well, hey, no need to be sorry. I know you didn't do it on purpose. My trip computer is showing right around 100 miles that we've traveled so far.
Alright, dude, so as you may know, the EPA range on a Hummer is 329 miles. That's not towing, right? Which is doable, and based on our testing just of the truck itself, that seems very realistic. But towing is a whole different question. This is where I wanted to get to. Up by McConaughey, Ogallala. Yes. But it's still 115 miles away. There's no way I can make this. So, instead, and I'm using Electrify America app because these are the fastest chargers right now. Instead, I have to backtrack a little bit to Fort Morgan, and it says stations are full. Everybody's charging there. So hopefully by the time we get there, it will be available. And that's Let's see how far. 14 miles away. But I have 23% left?
Yeah, so that should be plenty, right?
Well, 23 divided by 2, because I was getting about almost...
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So that's about 12 miles. You know what? There's a little breeze.
Fingers crossed.
There's a breeze. I think
maybe
we
we'll
were
have a backdraft.
we were going into a little bit of a headwind. So maybe with the wind, we should make it.
Do you think we're gonna have to unhook the trailer to get into one of those charging stations?
Why did you have to bring it up? Yes, we might have to. So now the Hummer is saying my drive range is low. It's limiting my pedal, so I don't have as much power as I used to. So right now, I mean, I'm still moving great, and I'm pulling up to the station, but it's limited my power. It's kind of flashing that last 5% of battery, and so this is probably as deep as I want to take this, especially with a trailer, kind of in the middle of the plains. So what I did do is I did go to the charger, and then I did one more tiny loop. Just wanted to see how far I can go. Let me give you all the numbers right now.
That might actually work.
So yeah, I tried to park in a way that I don't have to disconnect the trailer quite yet. But here's my deal. The 350 kilowatt station is way back. I'll show you. This is a 150. So I may have to unhook the trailer. But look what's happening. It's blinking. My energy bar is blinking right there, maybe about 6 or 7%. And I went 123.2 miles. And it's limiting my accelerator, dude.
Oh yeah, by how much?
It doesn't tell me, but I don't have the acceleration I used to have. I'm still moving on the highway, right?
Yeah.
And I'm still up, driving normally, but I just don't have 1,000 horsepower, unfortunately.
Oh man, no more 1,000 horsepower.
So I would say this is kind of the range. Let's see how much battery percentage when I shut off the motor. Check it out. Let me open the door. Let me see what it says. 8%?
That seems kind of high.
So technically I could drive another 5 miles?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, so I think we kind of pushed the Hummer with the trailer, I think, as far as I want to push it. So about 5 more miles. So 123 plus 5, what is that? That's about 128 miles of total towing range. So let's see how fast it charges now. This is a 150 kilowatt station, and over there is a 350. So the Hummer EV is actually the quickest charging vehicle EV on sale right now in the US at 350 kilowatt. We saw about the 306. So I will have to unhook the trailer so I can back up there. Yes.
But it'll definitely be quicker to charge up at the faster station, even with the time it takes to unhook.
Yeah, I think it's worth it.
Oh, look at that. That's cool. You're good to go. Perfect.
All right, so let's get some juice going. Up, it reaches. I can connect.
Look at that. You're off to the races.
Oh, it's ripping right now. Let's see the kilowatt.
341 kilowatt!
Oh.
Dude, I've never seen that before.
I think we've reached maximum that the station can produce and also maximum that the truck can accept.
I mean, already, since we've been standing there.
It went from like 7% to 12, right?
Yeah.
And look at the miles per hour. I mean, this is kind of charging range per hour. It's zipping, dude.
Yeah, so definitely disconnecting the trailer to get on the faster charger was smart.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're almost multiplying, or it's almost twice as fast to charge here rather than over there. So that was worth it.
So Andre, what percentage are you planning to charge to?
Well, I think it's a matter of time now. So at this point of this comparison, the Hummer's trip is basically over. We figured out that it will go about 123 miles, right? We're gonna charge just enough to get us back to Denver. And I plan to be here for about 20 minutes. But now it's up to you, Case, because you gotta go another 120 miles and see how you do.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it.
Alright, so the charging speed went down significantly. It has been about 134 kilowatt for a while. It was at first 340, then I saw 250, then 160, and now 130. I've been here about 31 minutes. I got about 87 plus kilowatt hours. So it's time to unhook and just finish my day. And I need to actually hear from Case when he calls me and actually tells me what happened with the Cummins. The session was free because this month EA, Electrify America, is offering free charging. Thank you, EA.
As a final result, we have 211.6 miles on the clock. The truck is saying an average of 10.5 miles per gallon, but we will figure that out exactly. So not quite double what Andre did, but as you can see, the truck is saying we've got as much as maybe 87 miles of range left, and we still have what it's saying is over a quarter of a tank. We'll do the calculation to find out just how much is left in the tank, but we could easily do another couple miles to make it double. As always, we are filling up at Sinclair because you can use the DynoPay app to save a bunch of money on your fuel. And we always fill up here, especially when we're running anything that runs gas, because their fuel has DynoCare, which makes it even better than the typical. Now, this truck, plenty left in it, but we're about to find out exactly how much, and then we can shoot Andre a call and just gloat. All right, so the pump kicked off at the price 75, so I'm going to jot down 15.628 so that we can add our next section of filling up, our next amount of filling up to that number. All right. As always, we'll wait 30 seconds, top off, and we can add up our two numbers and figure out exactly how many gallons we use. Okay, so the second part of our fill up is 6.136. So those two numbers added together, 21.764. So we have what, 211.6 divided by 21.764. So an average of about 9.7 miles per gallon, and we used 21 gallons. So we used 2/3 of our tank. So we still had a good bit left that we could have gone, and we went almost double the distance that Andre did in the Hummer. So I think we need to shoot Andre a call. Oh, Andre, good sir. Are you back on the road?
I am on the road, and I'm returning towards Denver now.
Nice. Well, would you like to hear the numbers that I got?
Yeah, so hit me with some numbers, dude.
So I went over 211 miles, and I used about 21 gallons. So my average was less than what the trip computer was showing me. It was just under 10 miles per gallon, but I only used a little bit more than 2/3 of my tank.
Let me convert miles per gallon really quick to miles per kilowatt hour.
Yeah, I got about 9.7.
So 9.7 miles per gallon divided by 37.95 kilowatt hours per diesel gallon equals 0.25 miles per kilowatt hour.
Yeah, so the efficiency between the two trucks is quite a ways off, because at the end you were still at what, about 0.5?
0.6, yeah.
0.6, yeah, so you did what, almost double the efficiency, but I still had tons more range.
Yeah, you could go how more miles? Like another 100 miles?
Yeah, roundabout. And the other thing that we haven't talked about yet in this video, which I think is really important when making a consumer decision, is that the Hummer EV you were driving costed how much?
This one is 114,000 buckaroos.
Which is a lot of money. And then how much was the Cummins that I'm driving?
68 buckaroos, 68,000.
Yeah, so almost, not quite, but almost twice the money for the Hummer EV. So a really, really impressive truck. I mean, what? Almost 3 times the horsepower, unbelievably capable, especially off-road. But when it comes down to practicality, towing a trailer long distance, and also purchase price, it's hard to beat the old school diesel truck.
I agree, dude. So even though electric motor efficiency is good,
There's nowhere near enough energy on board this Hummer, and it's still kind of a toy, like you said. I mean, it's very impressive, but it's more for, you know, maybe going out on the weekend, but not really towing cross country.
So there you have it. A little bit of consumer advice for you if you're thinking about towing for trucks. It's interesting to see.
by the way, dude, guess how much money I spent for charging?
How much?
0.
Oh, did those...
Electrify America is doing a promotion right now that's free charging.
Yeah, we spent more than $100 on your card.
$100 for your diesel fuel?
Yeah, a little bit more.
Okay. Well, I would have spent about $40 on my charge, so still, I mean, it's comparable. I mean, yeah, both cost money.
All right, dude, well, on this note, let's close this video, and as always, alltfl.com, right, for everything automotive.
Let us know what you guys think in the comments below, and we'll see y'all in the next video.
All right, see ya.